In late 19th century, Britain had a problem. China didn't want British goods, Britain wanted Chinese goods, and the trade balance was inconvenient. So Britain solved this the responsible way, by selling drugs at scale with naval backing. This is the strategy behind the Opium Wars and how trade policy turned into gunboat diplomacy. By the late 1700s, China was one of the world's largest economies. It exported tea, silk, porcelain. Britain imported all of it. China, meanwhile, looked at the British products and said no thank you, which was devastating for the British treasury. Silver flowed out of Britain, nothing flowed back. This was unacceptable. Britain believed in free trade as long as Britain was winning. China restricted foreign merchants. Trade was tightly controlled. Foreign access was limited. To Britain, this was not sovereignty, it was an obstacle. An obstacle historically gets solved. Britain already controlled opium production in India. Opium was highly addictive, extremely profitable, illegal in China, which made it perfect. British merchants began smuggling opium into China. Silver reversed direction, profits exploded, addiction spread. The trade deficit vanished, problem solved. The Qing government noticed something was wrong. Opium addiction surged, social stability declined, silver drained out of China instead. The government did the logical thing, it banned opium. This was Britain's cue. China seized and destroyed British opium stockpiles. Britain responded with outrage, and not at drug trafficking, at property destruction, because destroying illegal narcotics was apparently attack on free trade. This disagreement escalated violently. Britain deployed naval force not to conquer China but to force open ports, protect merchants and force free trade. Britain's ships vastly outclassed Qing defenses. The war was short, the outcome was predictable. China lost. It signed treaties that opened ports, granted extraterritorial rights, legalized opium trade, imposed reparations. These were called unequal treaties because they were. Trade was now free at gunpoint. When China resisted further demands, Britain returned with allies, with more force, with clearer objectives. More ports, more access, more control. The pattern was established. Economic leverage, military pressure, legal enforcement. This wasn't chaos, it was policy. Britain used economic imbalance, legal justification, military superiority to restructure global trade on its terms. Opium wasn't a side effect, it was the mechanism. The Opium Wars weakened China profoundly. They undermined sovereignty, destabilized the Qing state, fueled internal rebellion, reshaped East Asian politics. China didn't collapse immediately, but the fracture was permanent. Britain didn't go to war over opium, it went to war over control. Opium was simply the most efficient tool available. History often presents this as inevitability. It wasn't, it was a choice. The Opium Wars weren't about misunderstanding, they were about incentives. And when the profit aligns with power, policy follows. Hit like, subscribe, and next time we look at another empire that turned commerce into coercion and called it progress.